Now, teachings and actions of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, हमारे Prophet खुद से towards non-Muslim minorities, particularly Christian and Jews, are pivotal in understanding the Islamic perspective. और मैं आपको थोड़े से मिसालें देता हूँ उनकी ज़िंदगी से जो उन्होंने बताया कि कैसे minorities के साथ हम डील करते हैं. The Constitution of Medina, one of the earliest and most significant examples of Prophet Muhammad's, peace be upon him, approach to religious diversity and minority rights in the Constitution of Medina. This document established a form of governance that included Muslims, Jews, and other tribal groups within Medina. It outlined the principles of mutual assistance, non-aggression, and freedom of religious practice, effectively creating a pluralistic state where the rights of all citizens, including non-Muslims, were protected. अब इससे ज़्यादा document क्या मैं पेश कर सकता हूँ कि the Constitution of Medina is talking about a pluralistic society where all of us live together. इससे ज़्यादा तो हो ही कुछ नहीं सकता हमारे लिए कोई मिसाल, कोई example या कोई source of knowledge नहीं हो सकती. फिर the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, in covenants with Christian communities, entered into several covenants with Christian communities, guaranteeing them the freedom to practice their religion and the protection of their churches and clergy. अभी केस की बात हो रही थी पेशावर वाले केस की कि चर्च को डैमेज किया. अभी मैं जड़ावाला पे आता हूँ जहाँ चर्चेस डैमेज किया आपने. ये देखें हमारे प्रॉफिट क्या कह रहे हैं. An example is the covenant with the Christians of Najran, in which he assured them that their church property conditioned to their faith and their rights would not be altered. So this is what our prophet is saying, that we will not touch their churches. Hadith on kindness and justice. Yes, Munir. Numerous hadiths, Prophet Sahab, Hamare Prophet ki, peace be upon him, emphasizes the importance of kind and just treatment of non-Muslims. For example, he said, whoever kills a person who is granted the pledge of protection by the Muslims. एक दफ़ा आपने कह दिया कि minority हमारी protection में है, हमारे साथ है, shall not smell, the Prophet says, whoever kills a person who is granted the pledge of protection by the Muslims shall not smell the fragrance of paradise. Through its fragrance can be smelt at a distance of 40 years of traveling. So ये इस level का standard हमारे Prophet ने रखा है. उसके बाद हमारी इस्लामिक फ़िलॉसफी आती है और मैं चाहता हूँ कि 2-3 नाम मैं यहाँ लूँ हमारे लिए समझने के लिए. अबू हनीफा, as the founder of the Hanifa school of Sunni jurisprudence, advocated for the rights of religious minorities within Muslim-governed states. He was known for his inclusive stance, arguing that jizya, a tax on non-Muslims, should be levied with fairness and should not be burdensome. उस वक़्त ये सवाल था, तो उस वक़्त से inclusivity की बात अबू हनीफा के ज़माने से हो रही है. And I am talking about 699-769 BC. Al-Ghazali, सबने नाम सुना है, बहुत बड़े Islamic philosopher, and he says, emphasized that ethical treatment of all humans, including non-Muslims. He argued that justice is a fundamental Islamic principle that extends to all, irrespective of their faith. तो हम कहना मैं ये चाह रहा हूँ कि हम कहाँ से अपनी knowledge draw करते हैं, कुरान से, सुन्ना से, फिर हमारे सारे इस्लामिक फ़िलासफ़र्स ये सारी बातें कर रहे हैं कि इकट्ठे रहना है, नॉन मुस्लिम्स का ख्याल रखना है, प्यार और मोहब्बत से चलना है. सो देयर इज़ अ होल हिस्ट्री बिहाइंड वेयर वी कमिंग फ्रॉम और उसको हमें भूलना नहीं चाहिए. इब्न रुश्द क्या कहते हैं, ये बहुत बड़े मशहूर फ़िलासफ़र, highlighted the importance of coexistence, understanding between different religious groups. He argued for rationalism in interpreting the Quran, suggesting that understanding and tolerance are vital for harmonious society. बार बार कहा जा रहा है. Rumi, the famous mystic and poet, spoke often of universal love and compassion, transcending religious distinctions. His writings suggest a profound respect for all of God's creations, which implicitly include respect for all religious groups. ये तो हो गए हमारे पुराने फिलोसोफर्स जो ये कह रहे हैं, जिनके नाम आपने सुने हैं. लेकिन कुछ में यहाँ यंग लोग भी बैठे हैं, यंग जो एडवोकेट्स भी मुझे नज़र आ रहे हैं, young people sitting here. I want to recommend few names that they should read, that जो कंटेम्प्रेरी थॉट है, इस्लामिक कंटेम्प्रेरी थॉट दुनिया में, उनके लीडर्स कौन से हैं, थॉट लीडर्स क्या बात कर रहे हैं आज। सबसे पहले मैं नाम लूँगा तारिक रमज़ान का। इज़ अ बिग नेम, अ प्रोमिनेंट स्विस एकेडमिक, मुस्लिम है, स्विट्ज़रलैंड में एकेडमिक है और फिलोसोफर है। रमज़ान साहब एम्फसाइज करते हैं the need for Muslims in the modern world to engage in a contextual interpretation of Islamic texts. He advocates the full citizenship rights for all individuals regardless of their faith, arguing that historical context of dhimmi and jizya, जो पहले jizya लिया जाता था, should not be applied today. Ramadan promotes an understanding of Islam that supports pluralism and mutual respect among diverse religious communities. उनका एक कोट है जो मैं करना चाहता हूँ, आपके सामने पढ़ना चाहता हूँ। The true strength of pluralism lies not in discussions where we agree, but in how we manage our disagreements. आप कैसे disagree करते हैं, that is the beauty of your governance. And the law minister is again here, and I keep coming back to you. It's the way we disagree which shows our character. ये खाली ये कहना कि pluralism आ जाएगा, ऐसे नहीं आएगा, ये space लानी पड़ेगी लाने के लिए. The other philosopher contemporary that I want to recommend, and please read him, is Khalid Abu al-Fadl. ये बिल्कुल modern है. He's a professor at UCLA and a leading authority on Islamic law. He says, and he argues against traditionalist views that impose restrictive measures on non-Muslims. He champions a compassionate and morally inclusive interpretation of Sharia that emphasizes justice and human dignity for all. Justice for all, जो हमने पहले भी सुना. Al-Fadl criticizes interpretations of Islam that marginalize religious minorities and advocates for equality and justice as the foundations of Islamic governance. Then I want to take you to another thought leader of the world today, and that's Abdullah bin Baya, a scholar from Mauritania. He argues, he has spoken extensively about the need for coexistence, mutual respect between Muslims and non-Muslims, emphasizing that Islamic teachings must promote peace and common ground. Bin Baya's fatwas often reflect pragmatic approach to consider contemporary global context. And lastly, I want to refer to yet another Egyptian thought leader in Islam, जिसको पढ़ें, उसका नाम है Jasir Auda. Auda is a thought leader in the field of Maqasid al-Sharia, the objectives of Islamic law. He argues that the ultimate aims of Sharia are to preserve religion, life, intellect, offspring, and wealth for everyone, including non-Muslims. Auda's approach is to interpret Islamic texts in a way that promotes freedom, equality, and justice for the individuals, thus providing a robust framework for protecting minority rights within Islamic context. और मैं इनका भी एक quotation देना चाहता हूँ. We need to interpret the texts in the light of the objectives of Sharia, which are to bring mercy to the world and to ensure justice for everyone, including non-Muslims. And I think Justice Sayyid Muhammad Anwar is here, जिनका तो फेडरल शरीयत कोर्ट में काम ही इस तरह है कि इन्होंने इस्लामिक इंटरप्रिटेशन को देखना है. I think you might want to consider one of the contemporary thoughts जो बाया साहब दे रहे हैं. And lastly, I want to refer to Hamza Yusuf, जिनका नाम तो आपने सुना होगा, an American Islamic scholar. And what does he say now? Yusuf emphasizes the importance of understanding Islam within the ethos of time and place. He speaks about the necessity of compassion in governance. And that's what I want to bring in to Mr. the Law Minister who is busy. पराया साहब आप हमें Law Minister को busy रखा हुआ है. हम इसे बात तो कर रहे थे, हम उनके लिए उनको गोश गुजार कर रहे हैं कुछ चीज़ें. So Hamza Yusuf को quote करते हुए उन्होंने कहा कि the necessity of compassion in governance is very important, because governance without compassion doesn't work. And the protection of all religious communities under Muslim rule, reflecting the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, model of kindness and justice towards non-Muslims. मैं एक quote Hamza Yusuf से भी करना चाहूँगा आपके लिए. Living together with respect and tolerance is a must, not a choice. It is an essential part of coexistence, and coexistence is a requirement for human survival. ये बहुत ज़रूरी है. प्लीज़ coexistence और tolerance बहुत ज़रूरी एस्पेक्ट्स हैं. हमारे लीगल फ्रेमवर्क में पहले कोट हो गया है. हमारे फाउंडर मोहम्मद अली जिन्ना साहब ने बहुत ज़बरदस्त ये बात की है. सैयद मोहम्मद अनवर साहब ने पढ़ी, मैं दोबारा रिपीट करना चाहता हूँ बिकॉज आई थिंक दिस इज़ सो स्ट्रॉन्ग दैट वी मस्ट लिसन टू इट रिपीटेडली. और ये उन्होंने 11 अगस्त 1947 में कायदे आज़म मोहम्मद अली जिन्ना साहब ने कहा. अब इनसे ज़्यादा वर्ड्स हम कहाँ से लाएंगे और कहाँ से गाइडेंस लें हम अपने आगे चलने के लिए. ये बीकन ऑफ लाइट ही है ना सारे जो मैं आपके सामने कहा. ये हमारी हिस्ट्री है, ये हमारा पास्ट है जो हमें कह रहा है कहाँ जाना है, लेकिन हम जा नहीं रहे वहाँ.